I'm Amber with All Things Wild. I'm the veterinary technician here, and these are our two Texas Tortoises. We have Big Tex and Gopher. So Gopher is a female and Big Tex is a male. These guys are the only tortoise native to this area. They're native to here in northern Mexico. They're actually considered a species in peril in the area, and they're protected by federal law. There's a awful lot about this species, which is fantastic, other than their size and adorableness. The main reason why they are a species in peril and considered threatened and endangered here in Texas is because of the pet trade. They are snatched out of the environment before they can reach breeding age and kept as pets and are never allowed to breed and proliferate their species. These guys are actually going to be going this spring to a breeding program that's being run by Texas A&M and in collaboration with the University of Texas Austin, where they'll participate in mate choice selection and releasing baby tortoises to the wild. So hopefully they will not have to put up with the arranged marriage that I've made here and be able to make their own choices and be part of something bigger and better. We do here always, strive to release everything to the wild. We can't release these guys to the wild because their home territories in the wild are they're less than a square mile. And if you release them anywhere else, they'll spend their entire lives trying to get back home. And in their case, that would involve a very small tortoise crossing many highways and things that would be very detrimental to their health. So since we have no idea where they were originally from, they can't be released. So the difference between a tortoise and a turtle is all tortoises are turtles, but not all turtles are tortoises, just like frogs and toads. Tortoises are non-amphibious. They don't swim. They sink like stones, quite honestly. They are land-bound. Other than that, they lay eggs and everything just like turtles do, just like your regular, red-eared slider or even a sea turtle. They dig in the mud, lay their eggs, bury it with their back legs, and leave their young, and the young hatch out and are ready to go as is. There are many myths about tortoises and turtles in general. Lots of them are portrayed in little kids' cartoons, like turtles can leave their shells and things like that, or they can go completely inside their shells and that it's just a separate house. Completely not true. Most of us know that by now, but a lot of people are unaware. Their shells are very much part of them. They can absolutely feel all of this. So they actually, they like scrubbinesses. We have little brushes that we use to give them scratchies and scoochies. And while they're in the bath time, we like to use brushes on them to not only clean them, but to stimulate them and make them feel happy, because they do absolutely enjoy the attention and the pampering of spa time. Oh, okay. So tortoises like this, Texas tortoises, they would be found more in the low scrubby areas around where there's a lot of mesquite trees, things like that. Once again, they are a species in peril and hard to find. I'm amazed that we actually have two of them here. I never expected to see one. Most people will never see one in their entire lives, especially let alone one in the wild. But if you do see one crossing the road, be it one of these guys or one of the other native species of turtle around here, best thing you can do is to pick it up and put it on the other side of the road in the direction that it's going. They know where they're going. Even if you say, there's no water around here, there's no way this thing should be here, they know where they're going. Okay, so for rehabilitating tortoises and turtles, because most of the time what we get is turtles, most of the little turtles that we get have shell injuries. And so at that point, we have to repair their shell. And depending on how severe the break is and if there's pieces missing, depends on how long they end up staying here. A square inch of shell on a turtle or tortoise can take up to 10 years to regenerate. Most of the time we end up using dental appliances or even metal ducting tape to hold their shell in place so that the gaps can be bridged and it can heal together into a sturdy fashion so that they can be released into the wild again as soon as feasibly possible. The general cost is about $50 over the span of time that they're here. So they're not the most expensive animal to rehab, but it does add up. We do have to provide them not only with appropriate nutrition, but with proper housing. And when you have a semi-aquatic turtle and you have to have them in a big pool where they have water and you have to provide them with live fish and things like that, there's a lot more to it than just putting down a bowl of food for it. We are currently building an outdoor enclosure for these guys called Tortuga, that I'm calling Tortuga Terrace. These guys in particular won't be here with us past this spring. They're going to their new home. However, we do still have Sir Speedimus minimus, who is our sulcata, and we will house any other tortoises that come through or any other turtles with him as well. Just because it's a low stress environment, it's outdoors, it's a more natural environment it'll have grasses that are fully edible grasses that are healthy for them. It'll have a pond in it. It'll have it multi-level so they can go uphill and downhill. It's not just a flat box. Right now they're being housed indoors on different substrates, which is not the most ideal for them, but it does work temporarily. So we are only partway through building it. We hope to have it completed by spring. Our sulcata, who will be out there, should be ready to go outdoors by spring. He can't go outdoors yet. He was hit by a car and is missing the top part of his shell, and so he can't be out in sunlight for long periods of time right now.